Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm excited to be joined by my friend and business partner, Mr. Michael Vincent, Mr. Podcaster Extraordinaire. I'm sure you've seen him on the air over the years, and we work together on fuel reduction, emissions reduction, and plastics waste reduction, all with net savings and monetary benefits. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a win-win-win.
Win-win-win. Right.
And however many generations behind us just keep counting a win every time a generation comes up, right? Just win. We're winning all over the place.
That's right.
We're like Charlie Sheen, really. We're winning all over.
We're not winning like Charlie Sheen.
That's not true. That is not true at all. I retract that statement.
But no, it's fun because we get to help companies go greener, be cleaner, right? Save money at the same time, save money. So that's why I always say it's a win-win scenario, because
no, you're absolutely right.
In sustainability, there's been things that have rolled out with engines and different things over the years that always cost more and more and more. The new tier of engine. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, it costs $20,000 more for that, but this is a net savings. What we're doing with fuel and with plastics. So that's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And more. I mean, speaking of more, I mean, Texas is trying to pass a law where $400 tag renewal fee for an electric EV, for an electric vehicle. And a $200 fee every year because of the lost taxes on fuel consumption.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Right.
Yeah.
You're going to be consuming less fuel. So that tax is going away. Right.
Well, no, they're going to charge you if you're an EV. And you don't. Yeah. You're going to pay it anyways.
Right.
It's like sending your kid to a private school, but you pay school taxes anyway.
Right. So I lived in Texas for a while, and they have no income tax.
Right.
No state income tax. However, the property taxes are considerably more.
I bet you are right.
They definitely are. So when you do the benefit analysis, it's almost a wash,
Yeah. And then you got your property, and then your sales taxes and all that other kind of stuff get a little bit crazy. But yeah, you're right. And new technologies, new things that cost more. Cyber fuels actually saves you money.
Right.
And it's not like you're paying X here and you're saving X minus Y. No, net savings. You're above and beyond the cost. You're saving a lot of money, man. A lot of money.
It is. We're with the average fuel economy improvement, we are averaging 10 to 20% lower spend on fuel. Right.
Yeah.
And we've got a money back guarantee, which you click that below. It's a money back guarantee of at least 10% fuel economy.
That's right. There you go. At least 10% better. So let's say you're one of the, you only get 10% savings. That's pretty good. I'll take 10% off a gallon right now.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. So we're averaging 20% with all of our field studies, but we guarantee at least 10, but we're averaging 20. So it's a pretty safe bet on our side as well.
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, come on, I'm going to go down the street and my fuel just dropped 36 cents. Just like that per gallon.
Right.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Not a bad at all.
I'll take it.
Right. So on that front, you and I are talking about today, our big topic is the big news or the big insight for today. It's where does oil come from? Because it isn't dinosaurs.
And so that's been a scam that's been perpetuated on me since birth.
Right. Fossil fuel. What do you think about when you think about fossils?
Dinosaurs.
Right?
Of course.
Who doesn't think that's a dinosaur?
But everybody, listen. Lightning McLean thought it was a dinosaur, right? I mean, in the movie Cars, didn't Lightning drive for like Dino Fuel or whatever it was?
Dino Fuel, that's right. Oh, yeah. And I love the subheadline. It's on iflscience.com. The subheadline is No, you're not pumping Velociraptor juice into your Volvo.
Right. I love
So
it.
good. What a subheadline.
It is really excellent. As a matter of fact, it's really
Oh,
good.
man, that's funny.
Uh,
But, I really didn't know, frankly. But when you read this article, it talks about that fuel, that oil, and that gas, which I'm just going to show a picture up here. That oil and that gas is actually from trillions of algae and plankton under the earth. They go and they permeate up until they reach a rock that they cannot permeate. And that's why you have to drill down to get to it, right? It's down there deep.
Yeah.
Basically.
So and they filter down to the bottom of the ocean and they just get covered with sediment and it just keeps going like that, right? The article is awesome because it even talks about the fact that even though, a T-Rex with his little arms probably isn't going to swim and is going to drown and sink to the bottom, he's probably going to get eaten before he has a chance to become
exactly
right.
Yep. It talks about it has to be a completely oxygen deprived environment, basically, for that material to then decompose essentially and become an oil, right? So it takes a long time. Hey, I'm curious. Have you ever had a stack of leaves you put off in a corner somewhere and you let it sit for about a couple of months? Then you go and rake it up and there's literally an oily substance on the bottom of that.
Yeah, it's like a mildewy type of slime type of thing. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, of course. Right. I mean, that's why you got to take them off your lawn. It'll kill your lawn.
Yeah, it will absolutely kill your lawn. But that's the closest analogy I could think of is that material, that plant material basically is breaking down, decomposing. It's in an oxygen deprived environment and it becomes oil and the gaseous part of it floats to the very top.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, a compost pile, right? The bottom of a compost. I don't know if you have a composter or anything like that. I do not. My parents did, and my in-laws do, and that bottom part is nasty.
Yeah, it's oily, right? It's just oily.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. But so my question is this, and I know, maybe you do have the answer. I don't know. You surprised me with many answers. But my question to the author of this, what's his name? James Felton, would be, did he not ask the question, then if that's the process, why isn't it ongoing? And why isn't oil still being produced in the earth? Or maybe it is? Or do we not know the answer to that?
Well, my reading of it, now, I'm not an expert on this at all, but my reading about it is it takes a very, very long time to become oil.
Okay.
Right. But it's going on right now. It's going on.
That's what I'm saying. It takes, a month or whatever to produce a car, but there's 10,000 of them coming off the line every day because you already got the pipeline greased. So to speak, if the oil pipeline is going, why isn't it? Maybe it is still producing them. I don't understand. Do we have to stop, cover the ocean floor with dirt and rock, and then 10 million years later we have oil? I mean, is this a process that? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right? No, absolutely.
I don't understand.
Well, and they keep on discovering these massive oil fields, right? Every so often. There was one, maybe 10 years ago or so. They discovered in West Virginia, massive amount of oil and gas on top. Out there, they've discovered it in Pennsylvania. They've discovered it in the ocean. They keep on running into these big pockets, if you will, of oil and gas. And we're drilling, and the drilling doesn't stop. There's obviously a lot of alternative things going on in the market, and that's always interesting. But we're very, very dependent on petroleum as a society, for sure.
Yeah, there is. You're right. And the only reason we're trying not to is because of it's not clean to burn at the present moment, right?
Yep, it burns. Yeah, I mean, you've got particulate matter and emissions, that go into the air. So absolutely. That's right.
So who's to say the solution isn't to burn it just clean?
Yep. Right. Burn it very, very clean. And that's one of the things I've always heard about CNG is it burns very clean. Burns very clean, very little particulate matter going out. However, it's very dry as well. So you got to consider that when you're considering, am I going to run CNG on my big rig trucks? There's a maintenance side to it as well. So you have to consider that for sure.
And so by dry, you mean there's no lubricity to it.
Right.
There's no viscosity. There's nothing. It's not helping the engine. It's causing more wear and tear on the moving parts.
Right. Right.
Gotcha.
And one thing I learned years ago is, how the ultra low sulfur diesel.
Yeah.
Okay. The more sulfur they take out of diesel, the less lubricity it has. And I didn't know that till maybe 5 years ago or so. But
I didn't know that until today.
Sulfur they take out, it makes it less lubricious, basically.
Lubricious. So, yeah. Is that a real word, or did you make that up?
I don't know. Actually, I might have just made that up. It's more lubricated. That's for sure a word.
I'm gonna. I think that's a new. I think that might be like. I don't know. It might be Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's new album might be called Lubricious.
I need to coin that phrase, lubricious.
If we're playing Scrabble, I'm challenging right now. I'm not so sure lubricious is an actual word, but I like it. I like it.
No, I do know lubricity is a for sure word.
Lubricity absolutely is, and lubricious should be if it's not.
Another thing I learned in working in this whole fuel world with engines, there's a test for lubricity.
Okay.
2 sheets of metal, and they put whatever substance in there, call it grape jelly, peanut butter, oil, whatever. Okay. They do this back and forth. And then at the end, they measure the amount of scratching that's going on. And that is your lubricity measure.
Really?
Yep. Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's interesting.
It is. It's really interesting. So they'll take an oil.
Not as cool a test as I thought it would be, but I mean, I get it. Sounds like somebody said, well, just rub them together and see what happens. And go, oh, this is pretty good. All right. We're good. And
Obviously,
then it just grew into a hole.
Obviously, there's a lot of controls in place regarding the pressure of that and the material used on that, and etc. But yeah, that's what they do basically. So if they want to test a synthetic versus a regular oil, let's try it. Let's see how much scratching and divoting happens here. And
so is viscosity and lubricity the same thing, pretty much?
No, viscosity is how something flows.
Oh, okay. All right.
And lubricity is how much lubrication is it? Like how really lubricated is that?
Prevention of friction.
Yeah, prevention of friction. Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what it is.
So, but cyber fuels actually improves the lubricity in the engine, right? So what you're saying is like these diesels that are being run, these ultra sulfur, low sulfur diesels, et cetera, and even biodiesel is like really low sulfur as well, is it not?
I don't know that actually. Okay. I'd have to go do some research on that.
Regardless, one of the things of cyber fuels is that it has that lubricity component to it, so it does improve the lubricity. I mean, you can get it in like, low, medium, and high lubriciousness.
Right. No, it definitely adds lubricity. It does. That's one of I call it a 6-in-1 green fuel technology. That's what I call it. It's got 6 different things that it does, right? It improves the efficiency of the burn. It increases the cetane number. It lubricates the engine. It removes carbon. It prevents particulate filter issues and down after treatment stuff. And it has a pour point depressant. And also it actually has a corrosion inhibitor as well, but it's a 6-in-1. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's why, a lot of times, Michael, we get these questions. There's no way. Like the questions are, how is that even possible? Right. But what they're comparing is old technology, right?
Well, sure.
They're comparing it with a additive that's like a cetane booster only. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they're comparing it with a lubricity increaser only. Right.
Yeah.
So the difference is we've taken all those different chemical and put them into one. And that's why you can get to that level. And you couldn't do it with just one. But when you combine all of those things together, yeah, you can get 20% average fuel economy improvement.
Yeah. It's called chemistry.
Yeah.
Chemical engineering.
It's way above my head, but I know enough to be dangerous. But I've been working in fuels for about almost 6 years now. And I think about once every 3 or 4 months, I learn something, new. There's so much to it. My goodness. But the good news is when you measure it in a lab, when you measure it in the field with a controlled fuel and odometer log study, just fuel, how much fuel was added? What's your odometer? How much fuel was added? What's your odometer? That's what my dad taught me many, many, many years ago to get my fuel economy was how much fuel did you add? How many miles did you drive? Just do that for a couple of weeks. You'll have a pretty good idea what your miles per gallon is.
Yeah, you get it figured out real quick. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So, that was back before the days of the digital instantaneous miles per gallon in front of your face all day.
Yeah, which I have. I mean, everybody has. I use it as a game. I watch it. I do. I watch it. I use it as a game. See how well I can take off from the start and keep my mileage high. Right. Because that's where it goes or up a hill.
Do you have the thing that measures like it's kind of instantaneous, and when you take off fast, it just drops down to almost?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's got like the current one, but then it's got the last, like the average of the last 5 minutes, and that keeps going in different ticks. So, absolutely. And you can see your driving habits, and you can see where you've taken your off your cruise control and so on and so forth. You can definitely see that, right? But the trick is to be able to take off from a stop and not annoy the people behind you, but keep your mileage in a good place.
Right.
That's the game.
Yeah, you don't want to take 3 minutes getting up to 45 miles an hour. That will make people really upset.
No.
Right.
No. And we've discussed this before. 0 miles per gallon is not good. Just sitting there idling is not good either.
No. Yeah, when you put the hammer down and it goes to 0 miles per gallon, you're like, I'm not getting good fuel efficiency right now.
That's right. So are they going to have to remake like cars and use it like plankton fuel now or something?
I guess we're already using plankton fuel, right?
That's what we are. But I mean, the whole movie, I mean, even when you look at Toy Story, right, they go to dino fuel. And it's a dino fuel truck that almost runs over Buzz.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I bet we're really warping the minds of a lot of people on this one because everybody thinks fossil fuel is dinosaurs. I think most everybody's going to think that.
I did until I read that article.
Right.
I would be 100% honest. I was fully on board with dinosaur carcasses turned into oil.
That's right.
I mean, the La Brea tar pits, do they not in Los Angeles have like statues of dinosaurs around there by it?
Yeah.
Okay. But that just perpetuates the myth, doesn't it?
Right.
Because even if they're not saying, hey, these are old dinosaurs that are turning into this oil, it's still because they're there. I mean, they weren't there. They weren't anywhere near.
Yeah. It's like assumed.
It's an implication. You're implicating the whole thing, right? So
Right. Well, now we know, and our viewers and listeners know, it is not dinosaur carcasses that drive your engines around town.
Well, specifically, the article says not your Volvo. So
not your Volvo, right?
Speak clear.
If we're being really clear, it's not Velociraptor juice. It's not.
Yes.
But it's extremely interesting. I love this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's basically it goes, it goes through its process, then it permeates up until it hits a rock level that it can't permeate, and that's where it's at.
And then you got to drill.
And you got to drill down to it.
And if you can't permeate, then you get tar pits.
That's right.
I guess. I mean, right? I mean, that would be it. If there's an earthquake or something, it could allow it to spill forth.
Right. Yeah. I would be interested to know how in the world tar pits were formed, but that's probably another show.
It is for sure, because we're almost out of time.
We are indeed. Well, Michael, as always, it is fun discussing this realm of fuel and sustainability and
Amen.
greener, cleaner stuff with you. So that'll do it for this week. But thanks again for coming on, Michael.
Of course, man. I'll be here next week.
Absolutely. We will see you guys again next week. Until then, take care. We'll see you soon.
Peace and love, everybody.